What's up, y'all? It's Nate Almighty, and I'm back with another Raising Kanan Season 3 theory and prediction. I'm very well aware of the fact that in this quest to find out who is Breeze, whether Breeze has been a character who hasn't been revealed to us yet, or whether Breeze is a character that we're already familiar with, and that person will leave or over time become Breeze. People have had a lot of suspicions about who Breeze may be. Whether it's Unique, who people assume will become Breeze. Whether it's Lulu, Uncle Marvin, Diva's brother who we've yet to see. Some people have even suggested that Famous could be Breeze. Especially since the end of last season, we had Famous in a desperate attempt to make money ends up catching his first body, okay? Now, I'm going to let you guys know how I feel about it and what made me come to my decision on whether I think Famous is Breeze or not. And just like the title says, Famous is Breeze. Famous is not Breeze. He definitely could not be Breeze. There's no way Famous could be Breeze. And let's get into why I feel this way, okay? So, first, a quick argument that Famous could be Breeze is the fact that over time, life has become harder and harder for him. And as he struggles to make money and live his life, he ends up catching his first body. Now, one would assume that the writers may lead him to becoming a savage. And he becomes this strong, arrogant shooter at least, right? But I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, he's likely to die in Season 3. Now, we all know that Kanan ended up naming his son after Famous. Famous, who, by the way, his first name is Sean. We all know that Kanan's first son will be named after him. He's going to have to die for that to happen. And I don't believe that Famous will end up becoming Breeze, someone who Kanan wanted to kill, but also Kanan around that time names his son after him, or right after Breeze is killed, who would have been Famous, Kanan then decides, I'm gonna name my son. Nah, it's very possible that Kanan's son was born right before Breeze was taken out, or shortly after. Either way, his name is going to be Sean. And Sean would have to be dead, okay? So now let's talk about how we know Famous is definitely not Breeze, okay? Based off of the clues that have been told to us over the course of OG Power, okay? And off of what we're being shown in Raising Kanan, okay? For one, Famous is not about that life. He's not about that life. Even though he caught a body, it's probably going to go like this. Famous is either going to get arrested for this body, right? Snitch and be killed. But probably not, because Kanan would not have named his son after a rat. So we can rule that out. But Famous is probably going to run his mouth about this body and get himself killed. Or people connected to the person who Famous killed, they already was having issues with Kanan's team anyway. So it'll be a huge back and forth thing in which will probably result in Famous losing his life. It's probably gonna happen. Or you'll have Famous, in an ironic twist of events, gets arrested for the murder or something like that, and he just decides not to be a snitch and spends the rest of his life in jail. Which, if that's how it happens, Kanan could then respect Sean enough to hold it down and name his son after him. Quite possibly, the reason why Kanan names his son after Sean, if it's not because Sean is murdered in the street and he ends up going to jail, it's because he took a charge for Kanan. And where everyone thought he would be a rat, he turned out to not be a rat, right? Because even though Famous got a big mouth, even though he's scary, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that he's going to be a rat. And chances are he never became a rat, because if he was a rat, Kanan would not name his son after him. So it pretty much looks like Famous is just gonna get himself killed. Also, you gotta understand, when they talk about who Breeze is/was, they said he was strong, but he wasn't that smart. Now, the argument could be made for Famous that Famous ain't that smart, especially street smart, because he definitely ain't right now. He wouldn't have handled that robbery the way he handled it, right? Right? The argument could be made that he ain't smart, just like Breeze wasn't that smart. But you gotta understand who Breeze is. Breeze was the leader of 3 crazy, murderous children, and Tommy, Ghost, and Kanan. By which, also at the time, Kanan said Ghost was the nastiest, craziest little kid, meanest little kid he ever seen, right? So Breeze can't be just full on completely stupid with no smarts at all, when he was able to lead 3 serious earners and very violent individuals who would have eaten him alive if he wasn't at least kind of strong. Famous exerts no qualities of being strong, right, in the street, or of being a leader of men, which Breeze was. So even though they say Breeze, was strong, but he wasn't that smart, there's some kind of intelligence and some kind of manipulation that goes into play with him being able to be in charge of Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy, and of course a bunch of other people who we haven't been introduced to in the story yet, right? So that dispels another argument for Famous possibly being Breeze. Then you got the argument, okay, the Jeopardy thing. Famous gets high, he sleeps with women, he's in school. He has no time to watch Jeopardy. He has no time to watch Jeopardy. He cannot be Breeze, he's not Breeze, never was Breeze. Not enough time. There's not enough time in the story, for real, for him to even end up being Breeze. Because the streets is already hot, he already caught his first body. You know what I'm saying? He's already damn near homeless. It's a lot going on. Plus, we're gonna have a time skip at some point to where Uncle Lulu, Uncle Marv, gone. Breeze is there. Unique and Ronnie Mathis, maybe not be gone. There has to be some kind of time skip to where now Kanan is me and Ghost and Tommy and dealing with all of that. And probably before that time skip, Famous is gonna die. Famous has to become one of those catalysts that help turn Kanan. Famous has to be one of those catalysts that help turn Kanan into an absolute savage. He can't be Breeze. He cannot be Breeze. Breeze is too tough, too smart to be Famous. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.